What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back for more Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. We are now in Tennessee. Nashville. This is a tired city, but things are changing, locals say. For instance, the local full-size replica of the Parthenon was recently rebuilt. Huh. You mosey down that way for a look. So, last time I explored a city, or I earned money before I explored it, and then I lost all my money. So we're going to explore it now.
From the windows of the store, you can hear a radio, turned all the way up, tuned to the Grand Ole Opry show being played across town. Two young girls sit outside listening to the music. Suddenly, it cuts off, and they howl in protest.
So I can either peek into the store or talk to the girls. Well, I don't know what I'll see in the store, but I know I don't know for a fact, but I have a pretty good indication that if I talk to the girls, I'll get another story.
Despite their obvious vexation, neither of the girls seems inclined to enter the store to see why the broadcast ceased. They seem to be preparing to leave on their bikes. When you approach, one says,
Don't bother. Always stops exactly this time, every week.
Always?
The other one matter-of-factly says,
That's when he died.
And before you can ask anything else, they've ridden away.
Excuse me? Peek in the store. I'm scared to now.
The window is so grimy you can barely see through the glass. But it's obvious there's nothing to see anyway. It's dark and empty. There's certainly no radio, nor any people. Just a lot of sad dust, marked where the furniture used to stand. Old memories, carted away.
Well, I don't like that. But it sounds like we have another scary story to add to our repertoire, because that's all the campfire people ever want from me is a scary story. Move on, I guess. Yep, the music haunted store. Let's earn some money. You wander the streets of the city looking for a way to make some cash. I have fun looking for work. I feel like I meet more interesting people that way, but I mean, I'm sure I'll get money either way, but looking for work is just, it has more interesting scenarios, I feel like. You're standing outside a department store that emphatically had no day work available when an exasperated woman carrying a small terrier rushes out onto the sidewalk. Here you, she says. What you watching for me? He keeps chewing the shoes and I'll only be a minute. Oh, sorry. Well, watch the doggy. Thank you, she cries and heads inside again. The terrier seems perfectly content in your arms until she returns and scoops him up, leaving you with a very generous tip. Well, thank you. Move on. Okay, I don't need anything from the stores. My heart and my sleep meter are full. I don't want to go to the train station because that's just going to carry me who knows how many states away. So let's go ahead and leave, and I'm going to check my story inventory and see what all I have in there. I have a feeling I'm going to start picking and choosing. I've only gotten 42 stories out of 237. Okay, well, so far, aha, see swap story. Okay, okay, this is the, shoot, where was it here? Swap story. Ah, okay. Okay, well, I kind of wanted to keep the scary soldier, but, I do like the lighthouse story. Okay, so I am limited to 3 stories per card. So let's see. Okay. I feel like I could get more spooky tales or scary stories out of the New Orleans seance. Like, I want to put Dupree's story in there. Because I want to start talking or telling other characters about other characters. I don't know if this is like a glitch or something that was intentional, but I'm not a fan of like the fast-paced fluttering of the text going in and out. That bothers me so much in my eyes. Okay, I think... Okay, yeah, I already did. Okay, so I swapped a couple of stories around. Let's see where I am. Okay, I'm in Western Tennessee, so I can go over to Arkansas. There's still a lot of see if there's anyone. I kept meaning to go see Quinn next, but he's kind of like far up there. I could go see Mason again, and looks like this railroad worker up in Ohio. I do not remember if I was over here yet, but if I was, don't worry, I'll do a transition so you don't have to watch me walk with my bindle.
A bus roars up on the road behind you and slows to a crawl at your side. Inside, you can barely see people moving, dancing, swaying. Strings of lights, strange smoke.
Are they dancing or are they on fire? Huh?
Want a ride?
The driver calls. Before you can open your mouth, a huge hairy hand, like an animal's paw, lands heavy on her shoulder. Not this one, a voice growls, so deep it vibrates your rib cage. The driver shrugs and leaves you in a cloud of perfumed exhaust.
Ooh, I don't like that. I'm gonna move on. And I can't move on fast enough.
Here's a derelict school building. Shutters nailed shut. Wind-drifted dunes piled against the walls. Broken desks lined up in the basketball court. While you rest on the front porch, the doors open, and someone gives a startled yelp.
Peer inside.
He's an older man, tidy and unshaven, carrying a toolbox in one hand and brandishing a broom in the other. "Don't squat here," he growls. "We're not abandoned."
Run away or stand your ground. Well, if I stand my ground, am I gonna be able to keep talking with him? I mean, I'd like to. Can you give me a story?
He gives you a hard look, but relents and joins you in the shade. "I used to teach here," he says, staring off across the baseball diamond. "Now they just pay me to keep the roof up."
Oh, move on. Oh. There's another campfire over here. "Got two hands?" an old man calls. A downed tree is flattened in his front yard and his porch too. His two sweaty sons are chopping it into movable pieces. You throw the logs into the old man's cart. "At least I can sell it for firewood," he sighs, tossing you some coins. Move on. Alright, let's see who we got here. Althea.
Giving up is its own peculiar kind of joy. Ain't nothing like it. No man so good, no smoke so deep. When the devil found me, I was on the edge of that cliff. He had seen deep inside me. He knew, and we made a deal. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it.
Let's tell her about Dupree.
I drink to that. Some people think fortune ain't got nothing to do with the good they've had in life. I like to think the things I earned, I really earned. I still think that, despite everything. The more I live, though, the more I come to understand it's who you know that matters. I'm in the mood for a good, hopeful story. You got any?
I sure hope I do. Yeah, that's pretty hopeful.
It's good to light the darkness every once in a while. Past me. She was a beautiful one. I made myself look like a lady. I bought dresses and jewels. I had my hair done every day, my short nails buffed so they shine. I was beautiful once.
Girl, you are beautiful now. You are a musician, living your life and sharing your tales. You are a beautiful soul.
You can't tell, but I was beautiful once. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it.
I don't think I've used his story yet.
The world ain't all sunshine, you know. I didn't do my duty to my family. Every year I thought about Marcus less and less. I carried a picture of him in my guitar case, sight that started to look like broken strings, picks as the years went on. I threw him away. I thought I loved him, but he was nothing to me. Ooh, how about a story about the dark and scary things in the world?
About a sugarcane farmer.
Oh, that's a scary one. Choices. My choice was starving or glory. Now what do you think I chose? Of course I shook the devil's hand. Ooh, now I'm in the mood for a story with a bit of that tragedy to it.
I'll tell her about Jimmy.
That's like a song, pretty and sad. I had a certain faith in the devil's promise, same kind of trust you give anyone. When I met the devil, he looked like a man, deep sunken eyes, the color of a peach pit, his smile like a broke branch. He looked no more or less trustworthy than any other white man I'd known in my short life. Ah, the sun is up. One more night gone. I'm headed down the road this way, but maybe we'll see each other again. And I'll tell you about how it all went wrong.
See ya, Althea.
Thought it would last forever. You understand, I was not just a star. I was an inventor. No one played guitar like me. No one. I deserved what I had. I thought it would last forever. It should have.
Ooh. Shout out again to this writing team because, oh my gosh, and the devs and the art, everything, it feels so immersive. Okay, that might be her again up there. I'm not quite ready I'd like to get a couple more stories under my belt before... I don't want to accidentally see characters back to back, if I can avoid it. But yeah, shout out to the game devs, the writing staff, the artists, the entire team. This has been one of the most immersive, story-rich games I've ever played or experienced in my life. Like, I love watching Let's Plays, and I don't think I've even seen anyone play anything remotely close to this, so I'm in awe. I hope you guys are too. You guys and gals. Or however you identify. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to play games and upload to YouTube. Let's see, was I already in Memphis? I feel like I might have been. Yeah, I'm good on money and everything. So I could explore, maybe get a story. Memphis is better off than other cities in the state, but life is still hard. Folks keep jumping on the brown murk of the Mississippi off the Harahan Bridge, and the Ford's factory's been closed for months. Ooh.
Peabody Hotel. The words adorn the exterior wall, each letter the size of a window. The lobby is upholstered furniture and gold chandeliers, but such luxury is a mere accessory to the centerpiece. A travertine marble fountain in which 5 ducks swim.
Observe the duckies.
A handsome bunch of feathered fellows, all having a nice time in the water. A bellman in a blue cotton uniform, black cane cupped in his hands, takes notice of your interest in the waterfowl. Would you happen to be here to witness the duck march?
Oh, I've heard about this. I watched Rhett and Link do it. Duck March.
A wide smile crosses the bellman's face. Oh, a newcomer. Well, this is a little ceremony I introduced. Every day I march these babies into the elevator all the way to the roof. Then I march them back down to this fountain.
They don't fly away?
The bellman gestures toward the closest duck. You notice now, the ducks have had their flight feathers trimmed, though their beauty remains intact. Now, don't look so concerned. I spoil them rotten. The feathers will grow back.
Nod. Yep. The bellman checks his silver stopwatch. It's time. Watch the duck march.
The bellman taps his cane on the marble. Right away, the ducks honk up a frenzy and hop out of the fountain. They beat the water out of their wings and waddle toward the elevator, guided by the bellman's cane. Magnificent. What sweet, gentle creatures.
I will say at my own local duck pond, there's some ducks out there that look real vicious and mean, and if they had teeth, they would totally bite you. Okay, well, I'm good on my assets over here, so let's go ahead and leave. Check my map. Who is right here? Oh, okay. Yeah, we can go talk to him again. Aw.
I suppose most expect a Negro to end up in prison. Yeah, there's 2 kinds in my estimation. There's a prison with bars, where they lock you up after they decided you've done a crime. And there's also the prison without bars. As everywhere else, if you look hard enough.
These people, these characters are so wise. I love them.
But anyway, now I feel like hearing a hopeful story. Got any of those?
Yes, sir, I reckon I do. Maybe?
good to hear a story that's more happy than the world really is. Nice to escape. My heaven, strange story there. No, it don't feel good to live under the boot of the law, but you get used to it. Sometimes you find yourself missing it. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay?
I'll do my best. I've tried to pass this off as a scary story, but everyone's be like, wow, that sure is a downer. But I'm going to tell about the Lost Street.
I hear you. I felt some strange sadness, yes. When you get a glimpse of real freedom after being away from it for so long, you forget what it was. That can break you. But anyway, you, know any good true tragedies? I feel like one of those tonight.
I'm waiting for a character who's like, tell me a happy story. I mean, this is like tugging at my heart in a way that I didn't expect it to when I first went into this game. I mean, I'm loving it.
Body and soul. The future? But what does a body do after they leave prison? Especially when it feels more real on the inside than the outside. So, tell me a sad story. Sad and true, okay? I hear you. Death. Well, when you do time, you're only doing some of your time. It all ends. Like everything else, it ends. You got any good happy stories where things work out for someone, maybe?
Oh, you bet I do. Somewhere. I'm hesitant to call this a happy story, even though Althea kind of alluded it to being. That was like, hey, things are okay. He's content, or I can't think of the word. He's all right. Yeah, the metal worker in the company house near Savannah was pretty. I mean, I felt he was pretty hopeful. He was like an activist for his community.
That was a good one. Wish I could have your stories around when I'm in a dark place, you know? My face. Well, there come a time you ask the Lord for so much, you just stop asking altogether. Here's the sun. Well, I gotta get ready to leave. It was good talking to you, though you do have some funny ideas how to tell a good story. I'm heading up the road this way. Maybe we'll meet again.
I'll see you there, Shaw.
I'd like to tell you more about what it's like coming out of prison. About what it's like on the outside, in the prison without bars.
Okay, so we didn't open chapter 3 for him, but gosh, all these characters have such good stories. I feel like this is such an underrated game.
Two brothers stroll up to you in the street, wearing identical scowls and identical steel-toed boots. One spits in front of you. "Don't stay in town overnight," the other says. "No vagrants after dark."
I can either hide in town or sleep rough on the road. I'm a giant skeleton, and they're talking to me this way? I don't know. I mean, I'm doing pretty good on... Maybe if I sleep rough on the road, I'll have a reason to, like, buy something in a store in one of the cities.
There's no shelter to find on the road, and the night is cold and windy. You doze fitfully under a bush. but at least you're in one piece come morning.
Move on. Alright, so yeah, so I can go here. Enter Memphis. Okay, yeah, so I'll have a reason to go to the store and buy something, and then I'll have a reason to earn money. So, pulled pork, sandwich, apple juice, root beer. So I need the sandwich or the pulled pork. We're in Tennessee. We're in Memphis, Tennessee. We're gonna get some pulled pork. And we're gonna earn money. Look for work. A tiny woman in a lush fur coat is standing outside a boutique lamp store with package nearly as tall as she is. You there, she calls. Can you lift this? Give it a try. I reckon I can. I got these big bony arms that are the size of a house. It's huge and unwieldy, but light as anything. Carry it down to my house and we'll work something out, the woman declares. You heft the package and follow her. She begins a rambling story about her living room, her interior decorator, her husband's taste in rugs. Gosh, this is boring. It's fascinating, ma'am. You follow the sound of her voice. The lamp box is so large you can't see a thing. Eventually she exclaims, "Here we are." Thank goodness. You lay the box down in her living room. It's nowhere near as luxurious as she made it sound. A card table, a ratty couch, and a wall tapestry done in a grotesque imitation medieval style. This will really tie the room together, she exclaims. At least she tips you. Move on. Alright, so I'm all full up. Where to next? Where's my map? Let's see. I'd like to make my way back up to where Quinn is, because I feel like we just forgot him. So I'm right here. I'm in northeastern Arkansas. So if I go up to Kentucky, I can talk to Shaw again. There's a new character here, and there's Quinn. But I just spoke to Shaw and Althea, so I might just keep going west, collect some more stories, and then hop a train and hope it takes me back east. We'll see. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm a keyboard gaming pro, you see. Maybe. Gotta cross the Mississippi River. Oh, I love that. And did you see that? It's just the words flowing down like the river. Oh, that's so good. Okay, I don't see any blurbs popping up. See if a hitchhiker will take pity on us. Or, excuse me, we're the hitchhiker. Whoops, get turned around. I did see a little blurb in the distance. So we can grab a story here, go hear a more elaborate version over there on the right, and then let's hop a train to a mystery city or a mystery state.
The girl tilts her basket away to hide whatever is inside.
You want to see what I got? I'm not telling.
She raises her eyebrows, encouraging you to pry further. This girl is either very confident or too young to know shyness.
Sure, I'll play along.
Ha! Got you hooked. Too easy.
She twists her lips to one side, mimicking a more adult, thoughtful gesture.
I'll tell you what. I'll show you what's in the basket if you do something for me.
Sure, yeah, I'll play along. I'll agree to do the favor.
Excellent.
Oh.
I want you to kill my mother.
She looks to check if you're paying attention, then points to a figure working at the other end of the field.
She's boring. She keeps making me work when I want to play.
Yeah, that's how it is, girl. For every kid. I am very uncomfortable around you now.
The girl bursts into peals of laughter. She doubles over the basket, laughing so hard she's barely able to stand. When she can speak again, she says,
You should have seen your face. You really should.
She beckons you over, shows you her basket.
Well, you're a little rascal, ain't ya? Lift the cloth. Not even gonna be worth it. I had a feeling of dread, and I thought I was gonna have to make a decision to walk away or comply. I was gonna walk away.
3 kittens snuggle
Aww.
up at the bottom. They're barely old enough to open their eyes.
Ma gave them to me for being good. I've called them Badb, Matcha, and Anand. After a story Nana told me.
She preens.
I'm very clever, you know.
You're also a little smartass, might I say. I guess, in a way, all kids are smartasses. This farmer's loitering beside a couple of crates of berries, idly watching the clouds go by. Waiting for the pickup, he says, trying to make small talk. Hey, you want to hear a wild story? Absolutely. He starts telling you about the whippoorwill watching for death. It takes a couple minutes, but suddenly you recognize it as a story about the drunken lineman. Whoever told it to the farmer changed, well, a lot, but it's still pretty good. Where'd you hear that story? Oh, I can't remember, he says. I think I've known it for years, since I was a boy for sure. That can't be right. That story happened to me, or leave him with this tale. I mean, I'm inclined to leave him with this tale because that guy was not the only lineman worker in America, so who knows? I'll leave you with your tale. You thank him for his story and start to mosey off down the road. Keep cool, friend, he calls after you. Move on. Ooh. All right, let's risk a train car ride. See where we end up. Hop a train and hope everything goes okay. Hop a train, the Flying Crow. Exit. I don't know why this is why. I guess because I don't know where I'm going. I have a feeling we're gonna meet one of our characters here eventually. You hop off the boxcar and successfully sneak your way out of the train yard without catching any unwanted attention. Move on. Where are we? Oklahoma City. Are there any campfire characters near me? Not in this state. Let's see if we can make it to this Texas, New Mexico region and then call it a night or a day whenever you're watching this. You wait in the soup line for over an hour. It's barely crawling along. You round the corner of the building and see far away a lone pair of nurses struggling to ladle out soup to hundreds. Gonna be waiting here a while longer, sighs the mother in the line beside you. Seems like it. You and her get talking. After a while, the topic drifts into a strange place and she starts telling you about the man who heard his death approaching. You recognize it as a story about the man who seemed alright with death, but way more outrageous than your version. I know that story. You tell her your version. That's not as exciting, she says diplomatically. I mean, it sure sounds realer than what I heard, but I think Topi likes mine best. She bounces her child encouragingly on her hip. But Toby's too hungry to smile. I cannot get over this kid's face. Move on. Alright.
Stacks of suitcases grind the parked Model A deeper into the dirt. An extended family inside defies the carrying capacity of the vehicle. The driver leans out the window. Want this? He swings a violin around by its neck. 10 bits. We need it for gas. You hear a muffled pounding from somewhere within the car.
I would love to take a violin with me, but I don't think I have that much.
6 bits then. We need it for gas. The pounding becomes frantic.
If I can buy it, I want to buy it.
The violin is yours, and the car shudders down the road. It's not quite out of sight when the back door pops open and you hear a girl's voice scream at you.
That violin belongs to Louise Ames, you dumb fuck.
The door and the girl are wrestled back into place, and the car fades into the blur of the horizon.
Oops. Well, I mean, I paid for it. I'm gonna keep it. I mean, they just like left, so if we leave the violin, you know, there's no guarantee that they're gonna come back for it. And they took my money, so I'm keeping the violin.
Its weight feels like a comfort as you walk. After all, who knows when you'll need Louise Ames' violin.
That's right. And while I do not know how to play a violin, I have played a viola. And I still have my viola. Crossing the Red River. Nice. Oh, I'm getting sleepy.
The storm swept in just before sundown, heralded by a purple sky and electricity in the air. He sought shelter alongside a grizzled farmer. All he can do is pace, muttering to himself.
Can't just stay here.
You catch.
Gotta find her.
He looks up at you.
My daughter was out down the road.
He balls his fists.
God, fuck this.
He hauls open the door, shielding his face from the fierce dust. He runs out into the storm.
I am a big old giant skeleton. I want to help you find your daughter.
The dust scours your skin, and razor winds whip at your clothing. You struggle for breath. The maelstrom has turned the world murky red. You don't see the farmer.
Oh man, now Mr. Wolf told me I had no skin. He took it from me. Keep going.
You press on
Oh.
through the storm. You see the farmer up ahead. He's on his knees. A great, dark shape made from swirling dust looms over him.
Yeah, so this is definitely, since we just crossed over from Oklahoma into Texas, this is definitely that famous Dust Bowl area.
You manage no more than a cough. The dust thing engulfs the man in his body. The storm whips faster. You can't breathe. You have to get back to shelter.
I'm gonna run somewhere.
You make it to safety, but don't manage any sleep. The storm settles in the early hours. You find the farmer laid out in the street,
Oh.
his corpse a shriveled mass. He has one arm stretched out in front of him, as if to crawl.
I wonder if I stayed, if I could have helped him. Well, now I'm low on health and sleep, so I need a city. Guess if we keep moving south, we'll find something. You smell the campfire before you see it. A young man turns a roast bird on makeshift spit. Wandering, he asks. So am I. Stay a while. Folks like us gotta share when times are good, right? He shares his lunch, fresh cooked fowl, caught only an hour ago. Move on. Okay, so that filled my health, maybe. Now I'm just sleepy.
They sheepishly, how else, approach the edge of the water and lap at it. A moving cloud stalking the plain on stocky legs. It's a huge flock, and for a long time you see no shepherd, until a figure on a horse crests over a ridge in the hilly terrain.
Look at him.
He rides a white horse. No, a pale horse. No, actually, a horse the sickly green color of an ashen corpse. And he's a gaunt figure clothed in a ragged cloak. But in spite of that, he seems in good spirits.
Aren't they beautiful?
Am I talking to death? Yes, they are.
My flock. Bigger than it has been in centuries.
He stalks through the mass of beasts, their soft bodies instinctively giving way to the spindly legs of his mount.
Oh, there it goes.
He points with one emaciated toe at a black ram moving through the flock.
The soul of an evil man.
Are the sheep people?
One of the worst.
It looks pretty harmless, but then again, you suppose we're all pretty harmless in death.
A Spanish fascist. He planned on fleeing to America should the war not turn out his way.
What happened?
His side might win the war yet, but a Lincoln Battalion bullet caught up with him first.
He cracks a sardonic grin that makes you queasy.
I thought I'd take the flock to graze here, so he could see the land that loaded the gun.
Move on. All right, let's catch this one blurb. I was hoping we could end this episode with a campfire, but I think I'm just going to end it here because I am coming up on an hour of playing this. The man can barely wait to get through the pleasantries before asking if you heard this story. 110% true, he says. I heard it from my nephew and it happened to someone he knows well. Well, sure. The man launches into his telling. It's polished. He's obviously done this many times before. He tells you the story of the ghost who punished spiritualists for the hubris. You recognize the bones of it from your experience of the seance. It's been embellished in the interim, though. Listen to the tale. Afterwards, you thank the man and move onwards. You'll have to remember that version, even if it's not quite what happened. It's a good story. Move on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode of Where the Water Tastes Like Wine here. I do see a city up ahead of us, so we'll start out next time there. But thank you again for joining me. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And, you know, tell me about some of your traveling experiences down in the comments, you know, whether it's in the US or anywhere in the world, just, you know, a place that you've traveled to. And, you know, tell your own story in the comments because stories are the backbone of society. They are incredibly important. And just after my short period playing this game, I wish I had heard of it before now because I believe this was released back in 2018. I hope to see you next time. Bye!